Shavua Tov, a good Woch. I want to tell story number 87 of the Shivchei Baal Shem Tov, the earliest source of put together stories of the Baal Shem Tov, but by Rav Dov of Linitz. Story number 87. The title is Hakruz Sheshama Baal Shem Tov. Cruz is a announcement or a message that comes from usually when the king sends a messenger and he unrolls a scroll and he goes, hear ye this. So I use the word herald. This is what these royal messengers were doing, for this is what happens to the Baal Shem Tov. He hears such a message from above. The author, Rav Dover, quotes the source of his story. He says, I heard from Rav Yoel, who used to be the Magid Misharim of the holy community of Nemerov. Magid Misharim, it is position, the Magidim, that are like the teacher, preacher, rabbi of this community. So this Rav Yoel is the source of how it comes to Rav Dover. Once, this is the story, once the Baal Shem Tov was traveling on the highway. He was with his horses, in the cart going, and he heard a cruz from heaven. This herald from above comes to him. One of these two things are going to come upon you. One of the two. Either the Haidamak Cossacks are going to befall upon you. Haidamak Cossacks are these gangs of free Cossacks that were in the highways of southeast Poland at the time, present-day Ukraine, and they were quite violent, quite nasty against the Jews. After the Baal Shem Tov passed away, actually there was a major rebellion of these Haidamak Cossacks that cost thousands of lives. So either these Haidamak are going to befall upon you and they're going to steal from you the sum of 200 red coins, 200 Polish zlotys, quite a fortune. Or you're going to be very sick with high fever. These are the two, either of these two things is going to happen. This is what the Baal Shem Tov is being told in this message, in this announcement from heaven. The voice actually offered him a third option, but I forgot what it was. This I forgot, I don't know if it's Rav Dover telling us the story that forgets, or his source, Rav Yoel, told him who the one who forgets. One of the two, however it is rendered as such. So the Baal Shem Tov had three options, but one of them we don't know. The Baal Shem Tov decided to hold his money, for he had a big debt to pay back home. So he chose the option of receiving the high fever illness, and so it was. Lo aleinu, not wishing anybody anything bad, but as it was revealed to the Baal Shem Tov in his options, he either could get sick or had the money stolen from him. Erev Shabbos, meaning not the night of Shabbos, but before Shabbos, Friday during the day, he arrives in the holy community of Sharigrot, and he felt very weak because of the high fever that we mentioned. And anyway, for Shabbos he went to pray in the Bes Medrash, in the house of study, the yeshiva, the shul. Bes Medrash works for both things. And he directed the services from the teva, from the pulpit. And his prayer was like a flame of fire. He was very intense, very much into his prayer. After the prayer, after the tefillah, the davening, he was walked by both hands. They had to hold him by both hands because he was so weak to walk, to go to the inn where he was lodging. And once there, he ordered wine to be brought to him. He drank 1 cup of wine, and the health began coming back to him. And then the Baal Shem Tov said, Milta de B'dichuta, a joking way. This is Aramaic from the Talmud, Milta de B'dichuta. It's words of humor. He says, it would be good to have this high fever 1 more hour just to merit drinking another cup of this wine, for it is very good. And that's the story. And I think it reflects this positive, good attitude in front of a life difficulty, that we are done and we enjoy the result, what comes after it, and we move on. And that's the message I think that the story is bringing. I'm telling Baal Shem Tov stories here every Motzei Shabbos, every Saturday night. You will see the videos in English and in Spanish, and I am translating all the stories from the original Hebrew in the book to Spanish with the hopes to edit and publish the whole book, for it has never been published in its entirety in Spanish. So I appreciate all contributions, gifts, donations, however you want to call them, link below. Please watch, like, share, tell Baal Shem Tov stories. It's a gula from many good things. Shavua Tov, a gute Woche.